Hi everyone, this is my final reflection on the start of my e-portfolio for my master's project. So in starting to create my e-portfolio, I found it to be a little challenging to gather up all of the items and finding which specific ones were requested from the course and to have in the e-portfolio. But once I kind of figured all that out and found that it was very easy to download past assignments from past courses, which are all available, and then even in Athena, I found that it was a little bit more manageable to be able to do that, and reflecting on them was pretty rewarding just to think back on all of the things that I've learned and gained in my teaching practice over the past 2 years during this master's graduate studies and things like that. So it's really cool to think about how far I've come in my teaching practice in just 2 short years of this program. So in picking the 8 artifacts, I honestly just went down the list and started at the top and picked them. The only one that I really had to kind of choose between was for the literacy course, 741, and finding the correct assignment to complete for the e-portfolio. And so I ended up choosing one that was an evidence-based practice that I had researched and done a presentation on and applied in my classroom. So in looking at the revisions from this course, I was able to use previous professors' feedback to help me in editing my papers and my assignments so that one, it all kind of flowed really nicely. It contained the information that was important. It cited sources correctly, and also it kind of allowed for a culmination of everything that I've learned in this graduate study. And I was really able to apply more knowledge about the universal design for learning through the revisions of all of these assignments. When writing my reflections, the point of view that I used was mostly objective, especially when explaining the artifacts and what their intent was. I kind of just looked at the assignment and its purposes to do that, kind of stating the facts, why I did the assignment, and my feedback that I received on the assignment. That was pretty straightforward. I was definitely more subjective when reflecting on it, thinking about what I gained from it and what it had added to my teaching practice, and how I was still able to apply the skills from that assignment to my current teaching practice. So the creating the e-portfolio was actually a little bit easier for me than reviewing some of the artifacts, just because we've gotten to do a few different online websites and portfolios throughout some of our courses. So I was able to really pick out which website was easiest for me to use, which I think that Weebly was the most user-friendly for me. Everything's kind of made and you don't have a ton of autonomy over changing things like the layout and stuff like you do in Wix. So that was just a little bit easier for me to make a clean, simple portfolio that didn't have a lot of distraction and allowed for my artifacts and my reflections to kind of be the star of the show on my website. So yeah, so it was pretty fun getting to make the e-portfolio and being able to thoroughly reflect on all of the assignments and kind of get to see the culmination of everything, which I think I'll be blown away when I see it all at the end of the next 8 weeks. And learning from this process, I took away that reflecting on assignments and designing the website, those are things that went really well. I really liked getting to think back on a lot of the courses that we've had, and how they've really enhanced my teaching practice and made me a better teacher, especially getting to use more evidence-based practices and knowing where to look for those and what they mean and what they do for my practice. The things that were a little bit tough were trying to dig and find the supplemental information from the early on courses during my studies. I've had to get a new computer, so I lost a lot of assignments. So if it wasn't online and I wasn't able to download it, then I didn't have it. So that was a little tough to, have to rely on the things that had been uploaded. I didn't have a lot of supplemental things to help me, reflect deeper about what I had learned and, what I went through when creating the assignment. But that was only the early courses. So for the rest of them, it was pretty easy to be able to find that information and dig deeper and really get to truly think about what I had learned and all the things that I had done to create these final assignments. Overall, it's been really exciting to see the portfolio come together and really getting to see all that hard work that I did throughout the courses being put on the spotlight. And the most valuable assignments to me are the ones that we're working through in this e-portfolio. So I'm really grateful for this e-portfolio and the opportunity to be able to build it through this course. It's been really beneficial in helping me reflect on all that I've accomplished throughout my studies at the University of Kansas.